So we are into the last few topics which we have in Unit 5. We will cover it today. And I think today will be the last class virtually before you will have your CAT exam from Saturday, right? So I'll try to complete the syllabus with today's class. The first one is internet enabled, how all the information gets transmitted through the internet from the devices. So the method of communication, what all protocols. Protocol means it is going to be a set of rules which are defined for communication. Okay. So communication on the to other system will be on the internet when we are going to use the smart devices, because they will be periodically sensing some parameter and they will be transmitting the same over internet. So either you can use HTML or MIME extension files for your protocol. And conventionally, all our systems use TCP or UDP. TCP is Transport Control Protocol, and UDP is User Datagram Protocol. So these two are 99% or the two protocols are used in all the communication protocols. So yeah, and whenever you are going to connect to internet, you need to have what is called as the IP address. So IP address is internet protocol address, and it is assigned by the network layer of your device. And MIME is going to be multiple extension. What are different types of extensions you can attach with your message and send? One is going to be your TXT file, text file. Next one is your doc file. Then you have the GIF. Then you have the JPEG image file. Then you have the wave format file or the music file. Okay. So these are the different types of files which you can attach and send. And communicate system at one IP address, communication with other system at another IP address using the physical connections on the internet and router. So when two devices are going to connect for information interchange, when the two devices are going to connect, here the two devices have to have separate IP address so that the connection is established between them on the internet. So internet is a global network. So system which will connect remotely as well, or remote connection of systems are also possible using this feature. And this is the protocol stack. You can see this TCP IP network. This forms the base for the connection establishment and transfer of data. Okay, and below that you will have IP. There's several networks which are interfaced with the IP address. So based on IP address only, the communication happens between the devices. So different layers are there. The first one is physical layer, data link layer. You have the network layer, transport layer, and application layer. So the connectivity happens from top down. It comes from the lowermost layer till the uppermost layer. Application layer will specify the different applications, like Gmail is an application where you can log in and you can see your mails. Yahoo is an application. Info is an application. That is an application level protocol. Transport layer will establish connection for communication. Okay, it will establish the connection for communication. So each layer, as listed here, physical, data link, network, transport, and application, each layer is going to have its own uh, work to do, and they will do it effectively. So these are the five layers of the TCP IP network: physical, data link, internet, UDP or TCP, and application layer. So HTTP is going to be used whenever HTTP hypertext transfer protocol, what all the internet was, we browse all the websites, they all have this HTTP format. So HTTP is going to be the protocol. And in that, HTML is going to be the data format. You are going to send the data using HTML. And every message will have an IP address and a port number. Port numbers will say what application you are going to refer in your message. Okay. Port number is a strong number. It is a number which identifies what type of application your program is running. Okay, the registered port number is between 0 to 1023, and 0 means it is going to be the host. And HTTP, it's internet connectivity, it happens at port number 80. FTP file transfer happens at port number 21. TFTP 69. NFS network file system telnet happens at 23. SMTP for mail transfer happens at 25. So you don't see all the applications are using the same port. Each application is going to use a different port altogether. So that's why I said the IP address along with the port number is required for you to identify a particular application. And different port numbers are here for POP3, NNTP, DNS, SNMP, boot, DHCP. So all these different have their own assigned port numbers, and these port numbers are going to be the same port numbers used all over the world. Okay. So HTTP request standard, it uses port number 80 and it is not explicitly mentioned, whereas other ports you have to mention, but 80 is a default port, so it need not mention it. And HTTP, you write to the website like this. It see, every request is a fresh request. Stateless means it will not store the previous request. Every request is considered to be a fresh request, and it will hit the server with the request. And you will have a response which will have the details of the web page. Okay, that is HTTP. The request is sent and reply is received. It is a very light and very speedy protocol. It can transfer any type of data it can handle. Okay, there are specific methods are there: get, post, head, connect, put, delete, trace, and options. All these different methods are there in HTTP. So it's a client server architecture. So client will request the server and the server will send a response. So it is a request response message type, or I can say it is a client server architecture. So the TCP protocol used in transport layer, it is going to accept the message from upper layer and send it to the lower layer. So it might add a header for identify that this message is going to be added by the TCP layer, transport layer. The message will be in the form of parts or segments or fragments. It will not be in the whatever you type is only visible to you, right? So that is not be is actually what is sent into the network. Into the network, everything is sent in the form of zeros and ones, correct? The message will be split into segments. Okay, segments or parts or fragments as it is called, and you will have several fields to indicate the network, the message, what is there inside the packet. Okay, so TCP is used for full duplex acknowledge flow. Full duplex now you can send and receive at the same time, and acknowledge means some sort of reliability is there in TCP. Okay, if anything is lost means TCP will ensure that the last thing is also retransmitted again. Okay, and UDP as transport layer, UDP is going to be for broadcasting. Broadcasting means I'm not bothered about whether the people are receiving or not. I'm just sending information from my side. Whereas TCP will ensure that it will wait for acknowledgement and it will ensure that the people has received till whatever being sent. So reliability is very high in TCP and it is almost zero in UDP. So during reception, UDP will do that. UDP is broadcasting, so no reliability aspect is there. You will add and delete the headers as and when required. So transport layer in TCP transmit the data on the network after it receives from the network layer. So I told you it's all top-down approach from physical layer. From the layer number 1, it will go till layer number 5. Okay. So IP packet transmission, everything will happen through IP packet. So the packet will have IP address and the port number. The port number will indicate what application you are going to access, and IP address will indicate the unique address of your system. So IP address, so maximum packet has a maximum of 2 power 16 bytes. Okay, it can have a maximum of 2 power 16 bytes. So in the network routing, it uses IPv6, and I told you IPv4 was used previously, but IPv4, the number of addresses are very much limited, and it is already exhausted because many people have started using mobile data, right? So IPv4 addresses are completely exhausted. So we are using IPv6 as our addressing protocol. Okay. So IP, the different fields in IP header, you have the version, precedence, service, QoS, and checksum. And protocol type, you have the header length, you have source and destination address, you have option, and other fields which are there in the IP header. So this is one thing which we want to discuss because we are dealing with sensor-based data transfer, right? So these are the protocols which are used. The TCP and UDP are the mostly used protocols in the